So, have you guys ever heard of a little game series called Kingdom Hearts? If you are a longtime viewer of this channel, you would know what Kingdom Hearts is because I had did a I had did a project where I would play all of the Kingdom Hearts games in timeline order. I made it to Kingdom Hearts 2 and I decided to scrap the project and just play the rest of the games off camera, even though I did already play Kingdom Hearts 3 prior to doing this project. Fun fact, Kingdom Hearts 3 was my first Kingdom Hearts game. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah. I did not get into Kingdom Hearts until 2021, 2022 when I first got my PS4, and Kingdom Hearts 3 was one of the first games I ever got, and I fell in love with the series ever since. And ever since then, I've been doing a research on its extensive lore, and today I'm going to be doing it's going to be a start of a 5-part series for you guys. So I made a Kingdom Hearts lore journal where I would write down all of the lore. That way I could talk about it to you guys. And instead of making it one video like I was originally planning to, I'm gonna make it into 5. Part 1, and I'll be doing 3 games at a time for each episode. This episode 1, is gonna be Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, and 358 over 2 days. Episode 2 is gonna be Kingdom Hearts 2, Recoded, and Birth by Sleep. Episode 3 is going to be Key Back Cover, Dream Drop Distance, and 0.2. Episode 4 is going to be the mobile stuff like Union Cross, Dark Road, Unchained Key. And episode 5 is going to be Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. And Melody and Memories. Please ignore my hideous handwriting. I promise I'm not going to show you guys the entire video is not just going to be the lore book. But anyways, let's get into the lore. Let's start off with the timeline. The Kingdom Hearts timeline starts with Kingdom Hearts back cover, Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, the flashback sections of Kingdom Hearts 0.2, Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, 358 over 2 days, Kingdom Hearts 2, Recoded, Dream Drop Distance, the present day section of 0.2, Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, and Kingdom Hearts Melody and Memory. Okay, so now let's move on to some basic explanation and terminology. So in the Kingdom Hearts series, hearts are not like literal beating hearts. It's more like a metaphysical thing. Kind of like a person's soul or a person's essence, if that makes sense. But that's what a heart really means in the Kingdom Hearts series. And it's not just like an organ. And if I get any of this shit wrong, I do apologize, and y'all are allowed to bully me in the comments because this took a lot of research. This took a lot of time and research, okay? I spent 2 weeks on Wikipedia just to do this shit, so yeah, if I get anything wrong, feel free to bully me in the comments. And I did play all of the games, obviously. I'm not just going to use Wikipedia, I'm going to use the knowledge that I remember from the games. But let's be fucking for real. Did y'all catch everything your first playthrough? It's a lot. It's a lot of lore to comprehend. I'm still trying to comprehend it. And yeah, and I feel like even after this video, I still won't be able to comprehend the lore. You see this little guy? This is a Heartless. And the Heartless are living manifestations of darkness that are created when a person is consumed by the darkness. Oh yeah, and light equals good and darkness equals bad. No bullshit, this is literally the actual logic that the game uses. And this ugly ass creature is a nobody. Nobody are created when from empty bodies after falling into darkness, and if a person is strong-willed enough, they can become a special type of nobody who talks and still acts like a human, and we're gonna learn a lot about those. Just you wait. And the unversed are creatures created from negative emotions, but these won't really come into play until we get to the Birth by Sleep era. By the way, this is going to be going from release and remix order, not timeline order. I thought it would be easier to keep up with if I just keep it in release order. Okay, before we move on to the actual lore, there's a quick little lesson, a quick little fact I want you guys to remember if you're new to the channel and have no idea what Kingdom Hearts is and want to learn. When a Heartless is created, a Nobody is created as well, and you must defeat the Heartless and the Nobody for the whole person to return. I repeat, when a Heartless is created, a Nobody is created as well, and your character must defeat the Heartless and the Nobody for the whole person to return. And that's going to make more sense when we get to some of the later games. So we open up the story as a young anime boy named Sora, and we see his dive to the heart. The dive to the heart is a special segment in the game. It happens in every single game where we go inside a character's heart, and that's how our battle stats are determined in the story mode. And Sora goes through his dive to the heart and has to give up either a sword, a shield, or a magic wand. Yeah, and then that's the end of the dive to the heart sequence, and we see Sora waking up on Destiny Islands. And Destiny Islands is Sora's home, where he lives with his two friends, Riku and Kairi, and his parents, who were never heard from again after this game. Riku and Kairi and Sora have the desire to explore other worlds. They build a raft to explore other worlds. Sora is greeted by a man in a brown robe. We'll learn who he is later. Sora and Kairi have a conversation on the beach about her home and their desires and where they want to go. And all seems perfect in the world until something devastating happens. Before I start, I just want to know this scene is the only scene where we ever hear or see Sora's parents, aka Sora's mom. We don't know who his dad is, other than a slight mention in Birth by Sleep. But this is the only time we hear about Sora's parents in the entire series. The Destiny Islands get attacked by Heartless, and Sora obtains the Keyblade, which is a mystical weapon designed to fight off the darkness and can unlock any keyhole dropped in the entire universe. Riku falls into darkness. Sora goes into a cave and finds Kairi with this ugly ass face going like Sora, and she literally goes into Sora, and we're gonna learn more about that later. Okay, I'm probably gonna use that term a lot. We're gonna learn about that later, because yeah, like we're gonna learn about a lot of this shit later, and I promise I will stop with the Kairi slander. After the scene in the cave, Sora fights a giant Heartless called Darkside, and then the Destiny Islands completely fall into darkness, and Sora wakes up in a place called Traverse Town. And Traverse Town has a bumpin' ass soundtrack in the background, because the Traverse Town theme is like my favorite song in the entire series, in like the entire OST. Like, anyways, moving on. Oh yeah, and I forgot to talk about the Disney Castle stuff. So King Mickey, aka Mickey Mouse, leaves his world to deal with the darkness, and he tasks Donald and Goofy with finding the key bearer. And then Sora wakes up in Traverse Town, and Traverse Town is actually a refuge for people who lost their worlds. And Sora runs into Aerith, Yuffie, and Leon from the Final Fantasy series. But Leon is not an actual Final Fantasy character. He is supposed to be Squall from Final Fantasy VIII, I believe. But yeah, anyways, they explain the Heartless and the Keyblade, all of that stuff to Sora. And while Sora is learning about the Keyblade, Donald and Goofy are learning about a man named Ansem, who, once again, we will learn more about later. And Sora ends up running into Donald and Goofy, and they end up fighting a giant Heartless called Guard Armor. After defeating Guard Armor, Sora agrees to go with Donald and Goofy to other worlds on their gummy ship, and that's how our story begins. Okay, so I'm gonna keep the Disney section like short and sweet. So Sora, Donald, and Goofy must travel to different Disney worlds, helping characters like Cloud, Ariel, Hercules, Alice, Winnie the Pooh, etc. And every world that Sora goes to, he must lock the world's keyhole, which is the door to the heart of the world. And a lot of the fans consider the Disney stuff to be filler, which I agree with. It's very fun filler, but filler nonetheless. And even though the Disney worlds are kind of considered filler in all of the games, I feel like this game, Kingdom Hearts 1, is the one that kind of utilizes the Disney characters and uses them for the main plot the best. And during Sora's second visit to Traverse Town, he is reunited with Riku for a brief moment, but Maleficent gets into Riku's head and convinces him to team up with her. And Maleficent's plan is that she wants to use the 7 Princesses of Heart to unlock the door to Kingdom Hearts, which is the heart of all worlds. The 7 princesses are Belle, Snow White, Alice, Jasmine, Aurora, Cinderella, and Kairi. So after all the Disney stuff, Sora, Donald, and Goofy end up in a place called Hollow Bastion. And Hollow Bastion is where all the Final Fantasy characters and Ansem come from in this universe. And we learn that the real Keyblade bearer is actually Riku, and Sora was just happened to be there at the right place at the right time after Riku fell to darkness, so the Keyblade just went to him. And after Sora loses the Keyblade, he also loses Donald and Goofy, and he has to team up with Beast from Beauty and the Beast, who came to Hollow Bastion out of sheer willpower. And Sora ends up confronting Riku with no Keyblade, and after doing a power of friendship ass speech, he gets Donald, Goofy, and the Keyblade back. How does any of this make sense? I don't know. And we learn that the man in the brown robe is actually Ansem, who's possessing Riku, and Sora learns that Kairi's heart has actually been inside of him this whole time. And after learning this, Sora fucking kills himself. I'm just kidding. He stabs himself in the heart with Ansem's Keyblade, and him and Kairi's heart are both unlocked. And this moment will literally be important later in other games. And yeah. And Sora turns into a Heartless. Sora's little suicide incident ends up also waking the Princesses of Heart. And after turning into a Heartless, Kairi literally just magically gives him a hug, and he just magically turns back into a human. None of this makes sense. I just go with Disney magic because I don't know how to explain this shit. And after finally reuniting with Kairi, Sora locks the keyhole to Hollow Bastion, but we're not done here. So Sora, Donald, and Goofy end up at the end of the world, which is an amalgamation of all the worlds taken by the Heartless. Sora fights Riku and Ansem on a destroyed version of Destiny Islands. And Ansem says that Kingdom Hearts is darkness, but when he opens Kingdom Hearts, it's revealed
Kingdom Hearts is light!
And Ansem gets blinded by the light and ends up disappearing and fading like a little bitch. But don't worry, he'll be back later, and I will explain later for like the billionth time. I hate my life. Oh my god, I can't even believe I didn't mention Ansem literally turning into a fucking boat in the final boss battle. I hate myself. Anyways, Sora, Donald, Goofy, and Riku and Mickey work together to close the door to darkness, which is this big ass white door right here. And they successfully end up closing the door. Mickey Mouse loses his shirt for some reason. That's very important. But yeah, they close the door to darkness and all the worlds are saved. Yay, until for now. And that's the end of Kingdom Hearts 1. But don't worry, there's more, a lot more. And there's also a post-credit scene, which we're going to talk about when we get to the next game, which we're going to get to right now. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. And Chain of Memories is the direct follow-up to Kingdom Hearts 1 and serves as a bridge game between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. And Chain of Memories actually starts off from the post-credit scene of Kingdom Hearts 1 that I just talked about, where Sora, Donald, and Goofy are walking through a field and Donald and Goofy are like in their original like Disney Mickey Mouse Clubhouse outfits, and they are still looking for Riku and Mickey. And on this little like field road thing, Sora meets a man in a black robe who we're gonna learn more about later, and then literally in the next game, I promise. And Sora, Donald, and Goofy end up in this place called Castle Oblivion. And I'm gonna be a little bit more snappier when it comes to this game because I just really want to move on to Dave's, but I'm still gonna talk about both Sora and Riku's stories. So yeah. And Sora ends up meeting another man in a black coat named Axel, who we're really not going to learn more about until Days because I want to keep this short and sweet. Anyways, he gives him a card, and Sora has to collect these cards to get higher places in Castle Oblivion. And as Sora's going through Castle Oblivion, he starts to lose his memories, but he begins to remember a girl named Naminé, who we did not see or hear about in Kingdom Hearts 1, but that's for a reason. Sora learns that Organization 13 captured Naminé, and he ends up fighting a replica version of Riku, who is not the real Riku, but the replica from the time Ansem possessed him. Axel frees Naminé. Sora finds out that Naminé was forced to alter his memories, and Sora fights a replica of Riku, who, like I just mentioned, and Marluxia and Larxene want Sora's power, and they are members of the organization who we're going to learn more about in Days. Sora defeats Marluxia and goes to a pod to regain his memories, and Sora makes a promise to Naminé to never forget her. And that is the end of Sora's section of Chain of Memories, but we still have to talk about Riku's side of the story. With the help of Vicky, Riku is transported to Castle Oblivion. The real Riku, by the way, not Repliku. Riku tries to fight the darkness, and Zexion, a member of the organization, tries to drown Riku, but he is saved by Naminé. This is Naminé, by the way. Riku meets Diz, real identity to be revealed later, who instructs him to find Naminé. Riku ends up fighting Repliku, and Naminé gives Riku a choice to overcome his darkness or to face Ansem. Spoiler alert, he chooses to face Ansem. After defeating Ansem, Riku travels with Mickey and Diz. And that's the end of Chain of Memories. Sorry I did not spend more time on this game. I'm sorry if I forgot about some things. I just really want to move on to Days, and I feel like I spent too much time on Kingdom Hearts 1. Anyways, moving on to Days, but like notice how I barely mentioned the organization. Just wait and see, they're going to be all of the topic in the next game because we're moving on to Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. And this game revolves around Roxas, who is revealed to be, drumroll please, Sora's nobody. And remember that little golden rule I was talking about earlier? About the heartless and the nobody? Well, when Sora did his little suicide stunt at Hollow Bastion where he turned into a heartless and freed him and Kyrie's heart, Roxas, his nobody, was created, and we're going to learn more about nobodies in this game and Kingdom Hearts 2. And Roxas ends up becoming the 13th member of Organization 13. Alrighty, let's meet the gang. So we start with Xemnas, number 1. He is the superior, the in-between. He is the leader of Organization 13. Number 2 is Xigbar. He's a free shooter full of secrets, and we're going to learn a lot more about him later, because he has a lot to do with other events. Number 3 is Zoldan. He is a warrior and tactician, and other than that, he doesn't really do much. Number 4 is this ugly ass motherfucker named Vexen. He's a mad scientist obsessed with his research, and he's like really, really ugly. Look at that face. Look at that ugly ass little face. Number 5 is Lexius. He is strong, and that's about it. He doesn't really do much, and I can't really say much other than he's strong. Number 6 is Zexion, and he is a cloak schemer, and he will be important later. And his real name is Yenzo. Number 7 is Sayax, and he is driven by the moon to seek hearts. He hates Shion, and yeah, those are his only 2 personality traits. Number 8, my baby daddy Axel, my anime husbando. He's an assassin with motives of his own, and he's my sexy anime husbando. Number 9 is Demix. Dance, water, dance. That's all he does, and yeah, he's utterly useless. Number 10 is Luxor. He controls time and is very obsessed with cards for some reason. Number 11 is Marluxia, my gay anime husbando with beautiful hair. I love his hair, and he has a badass scythe. Number 12 is Larxene, aka mommy, mother, cunty knife lady. I love her, she's queen, and yep. And number 13, Roxas, who is Sora's nobody. So the game opens up with Xemnas introducing Xion, the 14th member of the organization, and Roxas, Axel, and Xion become best friends, and this will be absolutely devastating later. And they meet up on this in Twilight Town in this damn clock tower and eat seesaw ice cream. And this game canonically takes place between Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts 2. Roxas spends his days doing missions with his co-workers, aka Organization 13, and we meet Xion. This is Xion, by the way. My Shayla. Oh my god, we're gonna learn so much more about her later. Roxas, Axel, and Xion become best friends and end up doing missions together and sitting on top of this high-ass clock tower, eating seesaw ice cream. Somebody please let me know if that's a thing in the comments. But Xion, we learn that she is, let me catch my breath, a replica made out of Sora's memories that Naminé took from him as a backup plan in case Roxas didn't go along with the organization's schemes. Created by Xemnas. But please, somebody please let me know if seesaw ice cream's like a real thing in the comments, because I really want to try it now. It looks good as fuck. But yeah, Roxas and Xion are both parts of Sora, and from now on, from this point forward, just assume that everybody is Sora. He Sora, she Sora, they're Sora, that's Sora, this Sora, everybody is Sora from now on. Obviously Axel and the other members from Chain of Memories go to Castle Oblivion, and Roxas gets flashes of Sora's memory, and everybody in Castle Oblivion obviously is eliminated by Sora except for Axel. Xion has a confrontation with Riku and learns who she really is. Xion tries to absorb Roxas, and he ends up defeating her. Xion begins to fade, and Roxas gets 2 Keyblades, and we get the best line of all time in video game history.
Xion! Who else will I have ice cream with?
I'm sorry, y'all. That scene is just so fucking, like, this game is so sad, but that scene just takes me out because Xion is literally dying and Roxas is worried about fucking ice cream. But no, this game is still really sad. It made me cry when I watched the movie for the first time. That video is still up. Please don't watch it. Oh my god. Riku and Roxas end up fighting. Riku uses his darkness to defeat Roxas, and he ends up looking like Ansem after their fight. Like, he literally goes full like darkness and ends up turning into Ansem, and that plot point is going to be very important in Kingdom Hearts 2. And the game ends with Riku and Diz throwing Roxas into a data world, or like a virtual computer world of Twilight Town. And the game ends with Roxas talking about his summer vacation, which, if you know, I can't really get into spoilers, but yeah, and yeah, this will be to continued, and that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to whoever sat for 25 minutes and watched me yap about this shit. We will move on. Episode 2 will be Kingdom Hearts 2 Birth by Sleep and Recoded, and that will come out whenever I feel like it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I love all of you so much. Thank you for supporting me. And yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, follow all of my socials. This is Anthony, your professional yapper, signing out.